Okay, so make sure that late work is submitted by next Friday. No exceptions on that rule, because we are end of the school year, guys. This is it. This is the end of the year, and that's just the way it is. So, and I'm not working all summer to grade papers and get your grades updated, and the school wouldn't let me do that anyway. So, anywho, so get your body paragraphs done, get your work caught up. I'm a little concerned that only 4 people have turned in paragraphs. So, things need to get caught up on your stuff. Okay. Today we're going to talk about introduction and conclusion paragraphs. Okay. And how to write those. So your introduction and conclusion paragraphs are going to be due on Tuesday when we come back. Hopefully I will have some time to review your body paragraphs and be able to get some feedback to you between now and then, and how to update those and edit those. But your introduction and conclusion paragraphs, I'm going to go over some things give you some pointers on how you can write those and have some strong introduction and conclusion paragraphs to help you with your paper. And so let's take a look at those. Let's see here. Let me make sure I got the right stuff. That's the conclusion. Let me open up the other one. God, this is not doing what I wanted to do. Let's see. Oh, it's being difficult now. Okay. All right, so we're just going to look at it this way for this one, because it's being difficult on me. Okay. So when you, let me show this. When you develop a introduction, okay, you want to have something that's going to grab a reader's attention, okay? You want to have something that is going to keep people interested and want people to keep reading, okay? Keep reading. So when this says hook here, you want to open up with a quote or an interesting fact or a small little anecdote. And when I say anecdote, that's like a small little story about something, like a small little, remember a time when, okay? Like I'm talking like small little, or could you imagine, those of you who are doing the clean water, could you imagine drinking from a mud puddle every day? That's a short little story. Or a shocking statement, you know, that kind of stuff, okay? Those are hooks. Those are things that get people's attention, okay? Then you have a bridge. So that's a bridge into that's where your tag would come in. Like if you were writing about a book or a literary piece or things like that, that's where a tag would come in. But this is where you bridge over into your summary and what you're going to be talking about. Okay, this is where you bridge over into the topic that you're going to be discussing. So since you guys are all talking about a social justice issue, you can bridge over from the fact that you're talking about from your shocking statement or your quote to where you could bridge over and say, you know, there are thousands of people in the world that go through this on a daily basis, you know, and then go into your summary of your paper and the summary of what things are going to be talked about in your paper. Okay. And I'm going to show you examples of this as we go through. And then you have a brief summary and then your thesis statement at the bottom, okay? So again, this is your attention grabber. So an analogy or metaphor, a famous quote, a cliche, or a shocking statement. And then your bridge is a one sentence or just part of a sentence that leads to the summary. So it's an this is where like lit analysis identifies the author, name of work, an argument or research, which is what you all are doing, identifies the issue or the topic, and it's used to connect the hook to the summary. Okay, so again, if you'll notice that the hook and the bridge are all both one sentence. Both one sentence. Does everyone notice that? One sentence. Okay. Now, the summary is 2 to 3 sentences, no more than 3 sentences. Okay. Don't give me a one summary sentence. Okay. Or a one sentence summary or whatever I just said. Give necessary background info that someone who hasn't read the information or doesn't know about the issue or topic you are going to discuss would need to know in order for your paper to make sense. But you keep it brief. You don't want to give too much information in your summary because then you're giving everything away. Okay, you're just giving them a brief overview. Okay. I have people that have given me a one-page introduction. Don't do that because that's like, that defeats the whole purpose of having a paper. Okay. And then, of course, you have your thesis statement that you all have all written, or you should have written by now, which some of you haven't, but that you should have written by now. Okay. Questions on that so far? Nada? Nothing? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's okay. All right. So this is an example of what something could look like, okay? A hook of like this could be, love is a toxic medicine, holding the ability to both heal and harm. In James Hurst's short story, The Scarlet Abyss, the narrator, known only as Brother, discovers this painful truth. As he fails in his attempt to discover, as he fails in his attempt to help his little brother, Doodle. Since birth, Doodle has been weak and disabled, unable to perform normal daily functions such as walking, running, and swimming. Dissatisfied with the situation, his older brother decides to teach him all these physical activities, pushing Doodle further and further until one day he dies as a result of physical strain. Ultimately, Hurst uses the complicated relationship between Doodle and the brother to show that love always contains some drops of poison. Okay, so this is the hook. So they're creating a phrase or something for us to look at and say, okay, well, why would love be toxic? Okay, why? They're creating a statement for us to look at going, okay, what the heck, how can love heal and harm people at the same time? Okay, so it kind of makes us curious, right? It kind of makes us want to figure out like, well, how is that possible? So, and then this is the introduction of the book. This particular example is from a literary piece. So in this sense, they use the tag statement, okay? And then the summary begins here, and then they have their thesis down here. Okay. So when they write it together, it looks like this. Okay. So it becomes to one paragraph. Now, the person who made this slide, I don't like the fact that they didn't indent here. It should be indented. But the thesis is the last thing on there. Okay. So does this make all this as an introduction sentence in this sense, or introductory paragraph? Does this help with this, with an introductory paragraph? Okay, I got a thumbs up from Ureli. Y'all are awfully quiet today. Okay, Daylin's giving me a thumbs up emoji. Oh no, that's Emily. I'm getting nothing from anyone today, guys. What's going on out there? Are you all awake? Josue, you awake? Brennan, awake? Ryder? Jackie? Y'all need to stand up and do jumping jacks or something. Wake yourself up. Can I explain the bridge again? Okay, yes. So the bridge is kind of like, it goes in between the hook and the summary. So what that does is it introduces your topic. Okay, it introduces what you're going to be talking about. So if you were talking about like, if you were going to be talking about like clean water, for example, you're going to introduce, that's where you're going to introduce your topic of clean water. Okay, that's where you're going to introduce your topic of clean water and tie it to your summary. Okay. Does that make more sense? It's just one sentence where you're tying it to your summary, where you're bringing those two pieces together, where you're bringing your hook and your summary together. Okay. Okay, I don't have this posted on Classroom, but I can if you all want me to. Is this something that you want posted on Classroom? Okay, Ureli says yes. Okay, everyone else says yes too. Okay. All right, so there is that for introductions. Okay. So now we're going to talk about conclusions, because you do have to also write a conclusion, and I have expectations for your conclusion as well. Now this one will actually, I think, yes, this one will actually do what I want it to do. Okay. So conclusion is very similar, but it's just backwards. It's an upside down. So we had the upside down triangle, and now we have the triangle the other way, okay, for the conclusion. So when you create your conclusion, you restate your thesis at the very beginning. Please, 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 please. Do not, okay, we are putting to rest. You are almost juniors in high school. Do not use the words in summary, in conclusion, finally, in summation. Anything that tells me that you're going to do a conclusion now, don't do that. Okay. We are past that now. All right. We don't do that at this point in our writing careers. So we don't do that anymore. Okay, that's when you were writing in middle school and in intermediate school, but we don't do that now. Okay, so we also don't use paragraphs with first I'm going to talk about this, now I'm going to talk about this. We don't do that either. Okay, we're not going to list things or anything like that. Okay, so I'm trying to get your writing to grow and mature, and this is how we need to do that. Okay, so our last paragraph does not start with in conclusion or finally or in summation or anything like that. Okay, so don't do that. If you want to do that, if you just have to do that, then you can do that on your own and then take it out when you turn it in. Okay, take it out. Because I promise you, when you take it out, it's going to say the same thing. So that's just some feedback from an English teacher. All right. So anyway, the first thing that you're going to do in your conclusion paragraph, you're going to restate your thesis. Okay. So you're going to restate your thesis in different words. So you're going to restate, you're going to use fresh words and reword your thesis in a totally different way. Okay. That's going to be the first sentence of your conclusion paragraph. All right. And then you're going to answer, okay, so what? So why is this important? So what's the point? Okay. And then what's the last thought that you want your readers to have? Okay. All right. So restate your thesis from your intro paragraph in fresh words. If you copy and paste the exact thesis, you'll sound like a robot and irritate your reader. Instead, use fresh language and state the same idea. One successful structure for this, when one considers the body number 1 topic and body number 2 topic, is clear that, yeah, don't do that. So why does, so and again, 1 or 2 sentences here, why does any of this matter? Okay. Leave behind the topic or issue and explain the bigger reason why someone should care. Okay. So after you restate your thesis, explain why we need to care about this. Why does it matter that the issue that you're talking about is a big deal? Okay. Why should it matter to us? And then the last sentence that we read should leave the reader nodding in agreement or feeling glad that that anyone bothered to read it. Okay. If you don't know what to write, then you can use a famous quote that connects the idea to the previous sentence. But if you do, you must cite it. Okay. All right. So if you use a quote as your hook, okay, because you can do that too, don't use a quote to finish your essay. Don't open your quote, open your essay with a quote, and don't close your essay with a quote. Like, okay. So it's either one or the other. So, okay. So, all right. So this is continuing on from the one from before. So this is the original thesis. The original, ultimately, Hearst uses the complicated relationship between Doodle and the brother to show that love always contains some drops of poison. Okay. So when one considers the story's elements of foreshadowing and symbolic use of various shades of red, it is clear that resentment is a common side effect of love. Okay. So this is reworded from what this is saying. Okay. Even though it's very reworded from what this is saying. So again, like I said, you have to reword your thesis. Okay. You have to say the thesis in something totally different. Okay. And then so what? Every child is taught to hate, is taught that hate is the opposite of love. Yet Hearst reveals that those two feelings are actually part of the same powerful emotion. All right. Oh, and then the lingering thought, just as there can be no light without dark, the human heart can't help but create some bitterness as it seeks the sweetness of love. All right. So this is an argument version. One. Let's see, do we have? Yeah, okay. So this is a original thesis for an argument. Proposed laws to ban energy drink sales to minors are well-intended, but short-sighted, because legislators claim not only lack scientific support, but also insult responsible citizens. So the thesis restated in the conclusion would be, when one considers the absence of scientific proof, the desire for fairness in the marketplace and individuals' rights and responsibilities is clear that proposed laws prohibit energy drink sales to minors should be defeated. Okay, so those two are the exact same thing, but they are just reworded. Okay, does everybody understand that? They sound differently, but they are the same thing. They are just reworded. Okay. A thesaurus, ladies and gentlemen, a thesaurus is going to be your best friend in this situation. Use it. Okay, you can find it online. It's called a thesaurus. It's not a dinosaur. Okay, it was something that was, it's funny. It was one of my gifts to me when I graduated from high school. And I did not realize how much I would use it in college, and it was destroyed by the time I left college because I used it so much. So
you want to know why your English teachers are good writers? It's because we use synonyms.
Yes. So the more words you know in life, the smarter you can sound. Okay. So you use a thesaurus.
I just dropped it in the chat too. So you can click on that link, bookmark it, stick it in your English saved bookmarks, whatever you want to do, because you will use it every year you're in high school and when you go on to college.
Make sure though that you know what the words mean that are in the thesaurus that you're using, because a lot of people have used the words in the thesaurus and they don't mean the same thing that you are actually trying to say. So make sure that you're using the correct meaning, the word meaning, okay? So you got to check on that too. Even though they sound fancy, they may not be the right word, the right word you need. Okay, so the so what part of this, in our country, it is difficult to change a law. The process encourages us to think through proposals and fully examine an issue before we ink a new rule that will govern us all of our lives. The kicker or lingering thought, perhaps English philosopher John Locke expressed this best when he reminded us that every new law must be designed, not abolished or restrained, but to preserve and enlarge freedom. I cannot speak today. So this one ended with a quote and they quoted it as well. So again, you have to come up with your own ideas. Once you do enough research, you should have plenty of your own ideas and your own thoughts. So you are going to have to come up with your own thoughts and ideas, okay? Do not plagiarize. If you plagiarize this paper, you will get a 0. No questions asked, no ifs, ands, or buts. You will not cross go and collect $200. You will go directly to jail and get a 0, okay? Period. That's the rules. It has been the rules of this class and this school for as long as I have been here, all right? Don't plagiarize. You use your own words and your own terminology. So
it's the same way in college, guys.
Yeah, you get kicked out of college for that, actually.
And you actually have to pay them money to go to their classes. So don't do that.
Yeah, they will like kick you out of school. So, but and you can lose your jobs for that and everything, guys. I mean, plagiarism is a big deal. Like if you have a job and you plagiarize anything and you say it's yours, copy anything and say it's yours, you will get fired. This is not a joke. It's illegal. It's against the law. So it's a serious crime and they take it very seriously. So don't do it. And everyone thinks it's a joke when they're little, when they're younger and everything like that, but you all need to learn it now. It can destroy your life. So my grandma had a big red book that if we ever asked her for a synonym, she would just hand it to us, the big red book, and find it. Everyone in my family knows what the big red book is because she gave it to her kids, grandkids, aunts, uncles. It was a thesaurus and it was actually helpful. Yes. My thesaurus was
oh, grandma.
Yep. Yes. Good grandma. Tell your grandma I am very happy. It makes me very, very happy. Yes.
That grandma gets an A in the grandma department.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Yes. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, so this is when you write your conclusion paragraph, this is what it's going to look like. So you have your restated thesis, then you have your so what in the middle, and then you have your kicker or lingering thought at the end. Okay, so again, it doesn't have to be long. It's just this is what it should look like. Okay. All right. Any questions on the any questions on conclusions? Any questions on conclusions? Nope, nope, no. Big no. So I'm going to get fantastic introductions and fantastic conclusions, and they're going to follow the diagram, and you're going to do exactly what it says and everything else, right? You really says yes. I did. Miss Pierce, I did.
Gotcha.
Yo, actually I said I need yo. Obviously I can't type today either. Okay, so okay, so everyone is good. Everyone's good. I'm like looking at all of this stuff here. Okay, so on your classroom page, let me get out of here. On your classroom page. Let me move this over to this side so we can see. Okay, so we have your, like I said, only like 4 of you have turned in your body paragraphs. Y'all need to get those turned in. I could open it up and show you who has turned them in and who hasn't, but I'm not going to do that. I might do that next time. Guys, next Friday, late work has to be turned in. I don't want to have anyone taking 2 English classes next year. Don't do it. You have a vocab unit 11 quiz. It's your last vocab this year. Yay, no more vocab after today. No more vocab. So vocab quiz. Then here is where you will submit your introduction and conclusion work. You will do this on your own Google Doc, okay? And you will label it introduction, and then you will label it conclusion. Does everyone understand that? You will label it introduction and you will label it conclusion. Don't just put 2 paragraphs on there and expect me to know which one is which. I mean, hopefully I would be able to, but label them, okay? And you will attach the Google document to this assignment. Okie dokie? Okie dokie. All right, and this will be due next Tuesday. Make next Tuesday a good day because it's a special day. Next Tuesday is a very special day. I'm not going to say. It's a special day. Why? You really says why.
Is that your birthday?
It's my birthday.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's Miss Cox's birthday, so everybody should be here and turning in their stuff for her birthday.
Yes, turn in my stuff. That would be the best birthday present ever. Turn in all your work. That would be great. Turn in all your work. Best birthday present ever. I know it sounds really geeky and dorky, but best birthday present ever. Turn in all your work. That's all teachers want is for you all to turn in all your work. And to pass the class. Thank you. Happy early birthday. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So Tuesday, make sure your stuff is turned in by Tuesday. And then we will talk about any drafts or anything that you guys need to work on from there. Okay. All right. If you guys have nothing left for me, I'm gonna let you all go. If I sent you a message to hang out for a bit, then I need you to hang out for a bit. All right. So I will see you all later. You all have a great weekend and I will see you all Tuesday.